Hey Hearties, it's your girl Sarah back with another one called The Heart Deep Dive. And boy oh boy do we have a lot to unpack from that season 11 finale. Just when we thought Elizabeth and Nathan were finally getting their happily ever after, the writers threw us a major curveball in those last few minutes. So grab your tea, settle in, and let's break down all the drama. Okay, for anyone who needs a quick refresher, When Calls the Heart is Hallmark's long-running period drama set in the Canadian frontier town of Hope Valley. The show has followed schoolteacher Elizabeth Thornton through love, loss, and new beginnings over 11 seasons now. This season was a big one for Elizabeth's love life. After years of will they won't they tension with mounting Nathan Grant, the two finally admitted their feelings for each other and became an official couple. It seemed like smooth sailing ahead for our favorite Hope Valley lovebirds, until that bombshell cliffhanger, which we'll get to in a minute. But first, let's set the stage with some key plot points from the finale. Look at those two lovebirds. After 5 whole seasons of build-up, it was so satisfying to see Elizabeth and Nathan finally together. I mean, the chemistry between Aaron Krakow and Kevin McGarry is just off the charts. You could literally feel the sparks flying through the screen. This is the kind of slow burn friends to lovers romance that Hallmark does best. But of course, we can't have nice things for long in Hope Valley. Just as Elizabeth and Nathan were basking in their newfound coupledom, enter party pooper Andrew Hargraves to rain on their parade. So picture this: Elizabeth and Nathan are sharing this beautiful moment after May and Hickham's wedding. They're all loved up, probably dreaming about their own future wedding. And then bam, Nathan's boss shows up out of nowhere with some mysterious urgent news. At first, Nathan assumes Hargraves is there to see him on Mountie business, but then Hargraves drops this bomb. What? Talk about a record scratch moment. Elizabeth and Nathan both look completely shocked, and then credits roll. Those sneaky writers really know how to leave us hanging. My jaw was on the floor, y'all. Just when everything was going so well for Elizabeth and Nathan, the ghost of Jack Thornton comes back to potentially derail it all. It's giving me major emotional whiplash. Of course, this raises so many questions. What could the news possibly be about Jack after all this time? Is he secretly alive? Did he have a secret family? Was he involved in some kind of scandal? The possibilities are endless. And more importantly, how is this going to impact Elizabeth and Nathan's brand new relationship? You know this is going to throw a major wrench into things just as they were getting started. Okay, time to put on our detective hats and analyze what this cliffhanger could mean for season 12. I've got some theories brewing. Theory number 1, Jack is alive. I know, it seems far-fetched. We saw Jack die heroically saving people from a landslide back in season 5. Elizabeth mourned him, she's moved on and found new love. But we never actually saw a body. And you know what they say in TV land, no body, no proof. Maybe Jack survived somehow and has been in a coma or had amnesia all this time. It would certainly explain why news about him is surfacing now after so many years. Personally, I think this theory is pretty unlikely. It would be a huge retcon of the show's history, not to mention how messy it would be for Elizabeth's love life. But never say never when it comes to soap opera twists. Theory number 2, Jack had a secret. This one seems more plausible to me. Maybe Jack was involved in some kind of secret Mountie mission that's only coming to light now. Or he could have had a child from a previous relationship that Elizabeth never knew about. Either of these scenarios would rock Elizabeth's world and make her question how well she really knew Jack. It could also create some trust issues with Nathan if she starts to doubt all Mounties. Theory number 3, it's about Jack's family. Maybe the news isn't directly about Jack, but about someone in his family, like his mother or a sibling needs Elizabeth's help with something. This would be less dramatic, but could still create some conflict if it pulls Elizabeth's focus away from her new relationship with Nathan. Whatever the news is, showrunner Lindsay Sturman made it clear in interviews that it's going to throw a wrench into things for Elizabeth and Nathan, she said. So it sounds like Elizabeth and Nathan will face some hurdles, but hopefully nothing relationship ending. Fingers crossed. Now let's talk about how this bombshell could affect our favorite new couple going forward. The timing of this reveal is pretty brutal for Elizabeth and Nathan. They just made their debut as a couple at May and Hickham's wedding. They were in that blissful honeymoon phase, probably imagining their own future together. And now bam, news about Elizabeth's dead husband comes crashing in. Talk about a mood killer. I have a feeling this is going to stir up a lot of complicated emotions for Elizabeth. Even though she's moved on and found new love with Nathan, Jack will always hold a special place in her heart as her first love and little Jack's father. Whatever this news is, it's likely to bring up some of that old grief and potentially make Elizabeth question things. Is she really ready for a new relationship? Does moving on with Nathan somehow dishonor Jack's memory? Poor Nathan is probably going to feel pretty insecure too. He's always kind of lived in Jack's shadow as the new Mountie in town. Just when he finally won Elizabeth's heart, Jack's memory comes back into the picture. I could see Nathan worrying that he'll never measure up to the idealized memory of Jack. Kevin McGarry, who plays Nathan, hinted at some of these potential issues in an interview about the finale, he said. So it definitely sounds like there will be some relationship drama ahead as Elizabeth processes whatever this news is about Jack, but hopefully Nathan and Elizabeth's bond is strong enough to weather the storm. Alright Hearties, let's look ahead to Season 12 and predict what might be in store based on this cliffhanger. The showrunners have confirmed that the Jack revelation will play a big role, especially in the early episodes. Lindsay Sturman said, "So I think we can expect the premiere to pick up right where we left off, with Elizabeth and Nathan reeling from whatever Hargreaves tells them about Jack. We'll probably see them struggling to process the news and figure out what it means for their relationship. I'm also predicting some angsty moments where Elizabeth pulls away from Nathan as she deals with her complicated feelings about Jack. Maybe she'll even consider breaking things off if she feels too conflicted. But ultimately, I think and hope that this challenge will only make Elizabeth and Nathan's relationship stronger in the long run. Sometimes you need to overcome obstacles together to really cement your bond as a couple. The writers have put so much time and effort into building up Elizabeth and Nathan's romance over 5 seasons. I really don't think they'll throw it all away now just as it's getting started. This seems more like a what doesn't kill you makes you stronger situation to me. Plus, Kevin McGarry hinted that we'll still get to see Elizabeth and Nathan's relationship blossom even with this wrench thrown in. So I'm betting on a happy ending for these two eventually. Beyond the romance drama, I'm curious to see how this Jack revelation might tie into other Hope Valley storylines. Will it impact little Jack in some way? Could it create issues for Elizabeth at the school? Might it even have something to do with the town's business dealings? There are so many possibilities, which I'm sure is exactly what the writers intended with this cliffhanger. They've definitely succeeded in getting us all buzzing with theories and counting down the days until Season 12. Whew, what a roller coaster that finale was. Just when we thought Elizabeth and Nathan were sailing off into the sunset, the ghost of Jack Thornton comes back to shake things up. I have to hand it to the When Calls the Heart writers. They really know how to keep us on our toes even after 11 seasons. This cliffhanger was the perfect mix of shocking, intriguing, and emotionally resonant. While part of me wishes Elizabeth and Nathan could just be happy already, I do think this Jack reveal opens up a lot of interesting story possibilities for Season 12. It forces Elizabeth to confront her past as she moves forward into her future with Nathan. And it gives the show a chance to honor Jack's memory while still progressing Elizabeth's story. Plus, let's be real, we all love a little drama with our romance. A relationship that overcomes obstacles is so much more satisfying than smooth sailing all the time. I'm definitely going to be on pins and needles waiting to find out what this mysterious Jack news is all about. The countdown to Season 12 starts now. Well, Hearties, that's all I've got for now. What did you think of that shocking finale cliffhanger? Any theories on what the Jack news could be? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I'll be back with more When Calls the Heart content as we get closer to Season 12. Until then, keep those hearts calling.